Hello everyone. Here at Leggett Immobilier, we help more American buyers buy property in France than any other estate agent. Last year was a record year with many of you taking advantage of the strong dollar to buy at discounted prices. We're used to working with international buyers and make full use of virtual tours and video conferencing when presenting properties to them. We also pioneered the use of electronic signatures, saving you both time and money. The more we can save you on airfares, admin or wasted viewings, the better. We're a family business with family values and regularly win awards as the best estate agency in France. We have over 650 agents spread across the country, which means that we can offer you an unrivaled local knowledge. Many of these agents are American, and I'm going to introduce you to some in this short video. You'll also meet some of our clients who have turned their dreams into reality by moving to France. We will be giving you some valuable tips and hints along the way about visas, about the French healthcare system, and much, much more. This video is just a taster though. It's the first in a series aimed directly at our American clients, so do please let us know if there are any other topics you would like us to cover. I will tell you how to contact us a bit later, but meanwhile, let me introduce you to some of our team.
Hi, I'm Andrew Guck, and I'm a Leggett agent, and I live in the city of Carcassonne. If you're not familiar with Carcassonne, it's a medieval city that's been around for centuries. So you may think that buying a home is one of the hardest and most difficult things to do that you may take on in your life, especially buying in another foreign country. However, Leggett is here to help you every step of the way, and we have our head office that has over 100 employees. So you can give us a call there, and there are people who can walk you through the process, as well as agents such as myself who are in the field, and we have areas throughout all of France that, so depending on where you want to move, whether it's the north, west, south, east of France, you will have an agent that's going to be there and walk you through every step of the way.
If you are an American coming to France for less than 90 days, you will not need a visa. This means that if you are buying a holiday home and only intend to visit for a few weeks at a time, the process is easy. However, if you plan to stay longer than 90 days or are moving here full-time, then you will need a long-stay visa. There are different types depending upon individual circumstances, and they last for between 3 months and a year, which is plenty of time to apply for French residency once you are here. However, you should be aware that the 90-day rule covers all of the Schengen area, not just France. This means that you can't spend 3 months in France and then visit Germany, for example. You must visit one of the 9 centers to apply for your visa. Here is a list of where they are located. For further information, go to www.france-visas.gouv.fr.
My name's Elizabeth Furr. This is my husband, Sean Furr. We're from Dallas, Texas, and we bought a house here in Saint-Gervais about a year ago. Our kids went to a French school in Dallas and spoke French, and when they were really young, we took a summer trip to France to see if we wanted to try living there. It took us another 2 years to make that happen. We got a lot of help from Andrew, and I guess through Andrew from Leggett, because he helped us find someone to do accounting things for us, things that you need when you're trying to buy something from overseas.
A contract attorney.
Right, it's the processes, but honestly, the process is fairly similar to buying a house, I would think, anywhere, but in the United States, it's also a similar process. The way that commissions and fees are done is slightly different, but Andrew made it pretty easy for us. And once we decided we wanted to buy the house in the early fall of 2021 and went back and forth a little bit, and we closed on the house December 14th of 2021. So it went very quickly once we decided we wanted to buy it.
Right.
The French property market is extremely active at the moment, with strong demand from local buyers. This means that if you want to secure the best property, you need to have your finances in place and be able to move relatively quickly. You should be aware that it can be difficult for American clients to get a mortgage with a French bank. The Foreign Account Tax Compliance Act, or FACTA, is a US law against tax evasion, and many French banks will not work with American clients because of the increased paperwork. However, there are a few banks that will offer a mortgage under the right conditions. We work with specialist brokers who will be able to advise you. In a sense, the banks like to lend on properties in prime locations, such as Paris, the Alps, or the Côte d'Azur. Also, the higher the amount of the loan and the higher the deposit you have to put down, the better. There are other ways of raising finance, and of course, with property here being such good value, many other American buyers simply use their savings and do not need a loan. Our top tip is to speak with a finance specialist right from the start. This way, you will know your budget, be able to move quickly, and be sure to avoid disappointment.
My name is Brad Turner. I'm an agent with Leggett Real Estate here in Bordeaux. From our experience, the American buyers are quite diverse. We're seeing people interested in searches for second properties where they can come and spend 3-6 months out of the year, but also people who are looking to invest in their futures here in the city and surrounding areas. We have agents in many regions around Bordeaux that we can put you in touch with to learn more about the opportunities in real estate market there. So one of the reasons why Bordeaux is so appealing to Americans and other buyers is its proximity to the ocean as well as to the mountains. You can access the ocean 45 minutes by train. The mountains are just about 2.5 hours away, but most importantly, the city offers a huge amount of opportunity as far as cultural events, cinema, theater. The restaurant scene is fabulous, and it's a very young city because we have a university here which is actually located outside of the city center. So it's not completely inundated with students, but it still gives a really great vibe when it comes to nightlife and activities in and around the city.
If you are looking to move here to live, then you should be aware that anyone living in France permanently is taxed on their worldwide income. You will almost certainly need to file a French tax return and also a US federal tax return. The good news is that because of the US-France tax treaty, most Americans in France are exempt from double taxation. In addition, the Internal Revenue Service also offers some substantial tax credits and deductions for expats, including a foreign earned income exclusion, a foreign housing deduction, and a foreign tax credit. Further details are available on our website, but we strongly advise that you take professional advice. If you are buying a second home in France, but will not be moving here permanently, then things are simpler. Americans with property here, who are not considered resident for tax purposes, are only taxed on income from French sources. This means that if you rent out your holiday home, you will be liable for French income tax. You will need to declare this income in both France and the USA, but again, the double tax treaty means that you will not pay twice.
And my name's Curtis, and I'm here in the lovely village of Fontcouvert. I've been fortunate enough to retire at a very young age, so I purchased a home in 2015 with Leggett, and it was a wonderful experience. I wanted a modern house with no construction, single story with a pool, and I ended up with a home that has 8 bedrooms and needed some work, 3 stories, and a guest house. I was lucky. I got a 2-for-1, as we say in the States, buy one, get one free, so to speak. And the agency helped me understand that you wanted this but we think you, and we see it in your eyes, that you fell in love with this. So let's make the deal happen for you. That works out, and it did. And I've been nothing but happy since I arrived here, and I've been able to make some great friends very quickly, and still get to explore the region, because every day is like an adventure.
Before moving to France, there are two questions that our American buyers frequently ask about healthcare. What insurance will I need? And can I enter the French system? The answers are simple. French law states that you must have health insurance while establishing residency. In most cases, you need to wait 3 months before applying to join the system here. Of course, the cost varies greatly, but as a very rough rule of thumb, you should budget around 1,500 euros per person for the first year of a policy that covers the visa requirements. Once you have been here for 3 months, then yes indeed, you can apply to enter the healthcare system. You will need to keep your private insurance until your application is successful. Once you are accepted, you will receive your carte vitale and will not necessarily need any extra top-up insurance. The carte vitale is a smart card that includes your picture and a microchip with your health dossier embedded. You use it in pharmacies, doctors and dentist surgeries, and if you go to the hospital. However, many clients do like to maintain some level of cover, as the state does not cover 100% of all costs or treatments. We recommend that you speak with a specialist healthcare provider about your individual circumstances. We have an excellent relationship with the bilingual team at AXA Insurance and would be happy to put you in touch directly.
It was wonderful meeting you at the old apartment building. And it was amazing that when we sat down, what was it? It's been almost 3 years now when we sat down to dinner and we gave you the list of our desires, and you were able to find all of our desires plus a terrace, and we couldn't be more thrilled.
In fact, when we came, it was during COVID, so when we were able to come into France, which I believe it was like for us June 12th, and Mike said something very interesting on the plane. He said, now Tom, we've seen this on Zoom, so there might be things that we didn't realize. So there would be lots of positives and maybe some negatives. Well, when we came through the first time, we had no negatives and just plenty of positives. And you did something very, very, as we got to know you and got to know you very well, you are so knowledgeable and trustworthy, and you trusted us in doing the transaction, and that you actually moved us from our old apartment to here, and that was fantastic.
Hopefully we've given you a brief entree into life here in France. The property market here is amongst the safest and best regulated in the world, and we will be by your side to guide you throughout the process. If you visit our website, you'll be able to download our guide to buying property in France, which explains in detail how the process works. We have around 8,000 properties for sale at the moment, and they offer exceptional value for money to American buyers. Whether you're looking for a chic apartment in Paris, a cosy chalet in the Alps, or a country chateau with a view over the vineyards, we have something for everyone at every budget. We believe that we're the only experts in France that have a team dedicated to American buyers, and we would love to add you to our long list of happy clients. Well, that's it for today, but don't forget to leave comments or questions below as to what topics you would like us to cover in future videos. Meanwhile, here's a list of ways you can contact us with. Thank you very much for watching, and we look forward to hearing from you soon.